Rob Wiles thinks the search for real ghosts might be more successful in downtown Nashville, at least the part you explore on a Nashville Ghost Tour.
Have you ever been walking on a dark street and gotten the feeling that you're not alone? Could be a ghost. You hear footsteps, but no one's there. Feel a clammy hand on your shoulder, but nothing.
Excuse me, ma'am. I'm so sorry, ma'am. Ma'am, you left your shoe. Can you believe there are some people who actually want to go where there are ghosts? Boo.
Frank Harris is one of the owners of Nashville Ghost Tours.
One of the reasons we have a lot of ghost stories down here is, especially during the Civil War, we had 26 buildings in the downtown area that were used as Civil War hospitals. And hospitals are always hotspots for ghost stories.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Nashville Ghost Tour. My name is Chris. I'm going to be your guide this evening as we explore the more haunted side of Nashville.
The tour begins each evening just when things are getting good and dark and just right for ghosts. Right across from the Hermitage Hotel, which has its share of ghost stories, including the phantom crying baby. First reported 50 years ago, never found. Many guests still report hearing it today.
Now, ever since then, there have been guests who have complained from room 908, 912, even 810 about this baby crying next door. And they hear this crying and they have no idea that they're calling down and reporting in a ghost.
The Hermitage Hotel isn't the only haunt hangout. The Capitol has a few, including the men who haggled over how it should be built. Architect William Strickland, construction committee member Samuel Morgan, who argued from the time they met in the 1840s until today.
What happened after Strickland died was they actually entombed him within the building itself, and his body's still here today. And he died in 1854. In 1880, when Samuel Morgan passed away, they entombed him here as well. And so because they're both in the same building together, that's why people believe they're not at rest, because they are so unhappy about this arrangement. So people will hear them fighting and arguing, screaming and yelling at each other, all about the grounds.
One Capitol ghost reportedly commutes from home.
One very popular one is of Rachel Jackson, because she was the wife to President Andrew Jackson. She died at a very young age of heart failure the night before Jackson actually left town to be inaugurated in D.C. And so anytime that there's tragedy like that, you often find ghost stories, and hers is really, not any different, because another part of her life was that she was kind of scandalized. She was married before she married Jackson, never had the first marriage annulled, and so she ended up losing all of her friends, kind of ostracized from polite society for that. And so not only is she said to haunt her home, the Hermitage, by playing the piano at night, but she also haunts the tower of the state capitol building. This is the easiest ghost story in Nashville to research, because there are hundreds of eyewitness accounts of this. What will happen is people will be stuck in traffic or walking back from work. They'll look up and see a woman that looks like Rachel walking past the windows of the tower. And it's such a visible spot from all over the city. That's why there's so many witnesses to it. We get a couple of phone calls a month about Rachel sightings.
Now, when we were on one of our tours about 6 months ago, the tour guide pointed up there to refer to the tower, and when she did, a black shadow went in front and then back across, and everyone flipped out. And so no one got a picture, but they waited for 20 minutes, for something else to happen, and nothing happened.
Then there's the story of the ghost who haunts the downtown Catholic Church. He supposedly is seen from time to time, and the bells may ring here at the oddest moments. Perhaps the work of the ghostly father. And of course, the Mother Church of country music is also a prime place for ghosts.
The most popular ghost story with country music is probably with Hank Williams Sr. Because he died so young at 29 years old, of a heart attack on New Year's Day in the back of his car, and he haunts the area right around the Ryman Auditorium. If you ever do like a daytime tour, talk to the security guards there. They're the ones that have had a lot of great experience with this. Because what will happen is they'll hear their ghosts singing, his ghost singing through the halls, kind of in an echoey, distant kind of way.
Spooky. So, back to my question. What kind of people come on the Nashville Ghost Tour?
A lot of times it's people that have had some kind of experience with ghosts. Maybe they've lived in a place that was haunted, worked where things have gone on, and they've got a natural interest in it that way, and they're here for ghost hunting. The other is really people that are more interested in history, because history and ghost stories really are kind of the same thing. Because to make the ghost story relevant and have texture and depth to it, you have to kind of understand where these people came from and what they were like. So it's kind of a sneaky history lesson in a way with the ghost stories.
Seems to fit the profile of tonight's group.
Just interested to see what Nashville has to offer, and we get to see some historic sites.
You like ghosts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Like to hear about them.
You do?
Yeah.
You ever seen one?
Yeah.
No.
Not you? Never?
No. Not that
Maybe
I'm aware
tonight,
of.
though.
Could be. They might
Maybe
follow you
tonight.
back to your hotel.
You never can tell. You never
fun.
can tell.
I found ghosts cool. Creepy things are cool.
So, if you think creepy things and the history surrounding them are cool, you'll really enjoy the Ghost Tour of Nashville. But just stay together, everyone, please. You never know what might be lurking out there.